What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Sand Vipers from the Mystic. Just an absolute ridiculously good defense and got an amazing cool value to it. Now the Sand Viper does have one glaring problem, and that is each one of its beams will only hit one target. Which, in this situation here, we've got six total enemies. Meaning, if I put down 7 Sand Vipers, one Sand Viper is never going to attack. And the reason being is, it's one beam per enemy. This Sand Viper here doesn't have a target, so you're just not going to get any action out of it. Now, of course, this is amplified even further by using the Split Viper Shard, which I think most people would use on this build. And the only way around it, of course, is to play the Mystic actively and use that Dark Torment ability, which is going to force all those Vipers to attack that one target. Now, although this is a viable option, it's got a cooldown on it. Mainly, the problem here is going to be for boss killing, since these towers will not all focus on the boss without using Dark Torment. And I personally just don't prefer to play the Mystic actively. So we're going to do a few workarounds from that, but let's hop on in and jump into a map. So here we are. We are on the Chaos 8 Wild Westival. And what we're going to do to supplement our Sand Vipers a little bit is we're going to add in some Serpent's Coils as well. So we're going to go all snakes here in Chaos 8 and see how it does. Now, first things first, we've got to build these out. Now, what do we want to do? Now, in the utility category, defense crit chance, defense crit damage are the two priorities there. And then I'm going to go into the range gambit on the Sand Viper. In the defense category, we're going to max out defense speed, and then everything that's left is going to go into Sand Viper damage. And then in the offense category, we now have Serpent Coil damage that we can put into, since this is considered an ability and not an actual defense. Now, by using the prestigious energy dagger, we're going to have the ability to put down a few more of the Serpent's Coils. However, let's go ahead and get things started here. So, building them out, what do we want on the Sand Viper? Well, this is not a projectile, so we do not need Piercer Servo at all. I think we are going to go with, we still want defense rate. So we're going to go defense rate, anti-melee, and anti-chaos. On the Sand Viper, we are going to use that Split Viper Shard. And of course, since we went defense rate servo, that frees up a shard slot. And we're able to do the double stack. So mass destruction and destruction, and our Sand Vipers are going to be ready to go. Now we want to work on the Serpent's Coil as well. And what do we want on it? I'm thinking on the Serpent's Coil, we really want to get some more range in there. And I don't think I have... Actually, that one's got rate, range, and proactive traps. I mean, proactive traps obviously clearly isn't going to do anything in this setup. And that one's got Piercer Servo. Let's just use this one here since it's Chaos 9. The Piercer Servo, of course, will do nothing since this is not a projectile defense. Now we are going to go what? We want to go with the double stack still. So let's get Mass Destruction and Destruction in there since we have defense rate set up. And then for a third, I think we'll go Deadly Strikes just to get even a little bit more range here on our Vipers. So taking a look at them here. We're going to go, what? How do we want to do it? Let's go 3 Sand Vipers. That means that we'll be able to hit 9 targets at a time. And then behind it, I think we'll go... Do we want to go 3 of the Serpent's Coils directly behind it? Or should we put those directly in front? Let's put those in front. And we'll get 3 Serpent's Coils there. Now, this is going to leave me an absolute truckload of DU here. So we're going to be able to do lots of things. In true format here, we are going to bring along that Oil Geyser just to hold Destructive Pylon for us. We are going to be using some Boost Stars. And I think in this one, we've got so much DU, we might use some Buff Beams as well. So let's go ahead and start off with that destructive pylon. Then we'll go with, say, our Boostar. And then we'll throw a buff beam directly on top of it. Let's go ahead and just go something like this. And I think that's going to be a pretty solid setup for that lane. Now let's take a look at all of these other lanes. Now let's do the same thing, basically. We're going to go with, 3 Sand Vipers. Actually, on this one, we might be able to go 4. As this lane does have a ton of enemies, potentially. Let's just go ahead and do it. We'll go 4 on this lane. We'll go, let's go 3 right here. We don't need to do anything down that lane. And then we'll go, let's just say go another 3 here on this lane as well. Now this lane, I think I want to move them over just a little bit. That way they get a little bit more of a straight shot down the lane. We'll go something like this maybe. We'll go 1, 2, and 3. Perhaps, if I can learn to turn. There we go. And then now we want to get our Serpent's Coils in the mix. So, let's see. Let's go 1. I think we'll just go 3 per lane here. We'll go 1, 2, and 3 like that. We'll go 3 of them right here as well. Here I got mixed emotions on how I want to point them. I guess it doesn't really matter, because they've got that inadvertent 360-degree thing going on. Let's see. Let's just go something like that. Now we're going to need our destructive pylons in. We're just going to go something like this with the destructive pylons. I think we're actually going to be able to use 1 Boostar for everything. Yeah, we are, but I don't think my Boostar is getting the destructive pylon. Let's give it just a second here and see. Does not look like it's getting it. So let's just add in 1 more here, since we do have just a absolute butt ton of DU. We'll slap that in there, and that will guarantee we get that there. And then what do we want to do? Well, we're right on top of the core. We don't want to risk any range mobs hitting the core, so let's just go ahead and add in some reflect beams as well. We'll go like that. We'll go like that, and then we will go like that. Now, wow, I got just a truckload of DU left. What do I want to do with all that DU? Well, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is just not use that DU at all. Now, this would free up a lot. That's 260 DU. We could throw some proton beams out there for Petrify. There's a lot of different things we're going to do. However, I am looking to just test the power of the snakes. Oh, you know what? I never put a buff beam in over here, so that's what we can do. Let's go ahead and get a buff beam in here. See if we can get everything hit. Something like that. And there we go. We got a buff beam in. That still leaves me 180, but I'm just not going to spend the rest of the DU. I'm just going to leave it alone. And I think we're going to be in pretty good shape here. We're going to have to check it out. Now, I do have 380 mana left, so we might as well throw a few upgrades around. Let's see what we can do there. And looks like that's about it. Let's just go ahead and check it out and see how it goes. Now, remember, we're not going to have that focused damage on bosses. So with this build, we are going to have to do some boss killing. However, we got glorious snaky laser beams going all over the place. And yeah, just kind of love them. They do have a pretty massive cool factor to them. Just nothing looks better than a lane full of laser beams. You know what I'm saying? And the snakes allow us to make that happen. Now, using that extra DU to throw in some Petrify combos up here with Proton Beams would have been a super smart move. However, I do want to check the power of just the defenses that I am using themselves and see if they're able to hold it up without doing any sort of crowd control at all in the mix. So let's just go ahead and let it fly. We got 200 mobs left. No shortage of mobs on this map, that's for certain. And then we've got all those lovely little healing orbs all over the place as well, which are going to allow us to just get healed up like crazy if we need it. So each one of those is 60% of my maximum health. So just 2 of them would heal me from 0 to full with a little leftover change. So good stuff there. And let's see how we're doing down here. It seems like this is the heaviest lane, but everything is just getting completely annihilated here. Let's just go ahead and let it fly here. There's 100 enemies left. Like I said, this one is going to be all about the bosses, so you're going to have to go out and smack the bosses down yourself. We will check it out and see how they do, but I'm anticipating having to get directly involved with that bossery as it rolls in. The flyers could be an issue as well, since we don't have a ton of range here. However, it looks like our laser beams are going to get it done here for wave 1 anyway. So there we go. That is wave number 1. Now let's go ahead and jump on forward to the final wave, and just going to upgrade the Vipers. That's it. So just going to run around, spam upgrades on the Vipers, and we will call it good at that. So let's see how this build holds up in wave number 5. And here we go in wave number 5. Now, I have been pleasantly surprised once again as the bosses just got burned. So the power of the snake is strong, there's no doubt. I didn't have to contribute at all to the bosses. With one exception, I did have a Drakenlord. So, of course, I had to go knock that shield off of the Drakenlord. But that was it. So, yeah, just super, super strong. These guys are absolute beasts. Just going to spray around a few more upgrades here, and then we'll get Wave 5 started. But it's been full-on chillax mode. I just been kind of watching the map go. Everything's been going well, and as I mentioned, just the bosses, just so surprised that no intervention required, just straight up melted them. So let's go ahead and check it out through the rest of this wave and see how it goes. This particular map, the waves come out very staggered, so rarely are we even getting 9 enemies. And you know, I got three Vipers there, of course, so we're not getting full effectiveness out of these Vipers at all. You probably could have easily just went maybe 2 per lane and then supplemented it with other things, but of course in this video we wanted to see the power of the Viper. Now here we got a Siege Roller. Of course I'm going to have to get into the mix with the Siege Roller, but no big deal there. Let's just go ahead and give him the smackdown, and I missed, but we'll catch him on the return swing. And another Siege Roller. That's such a bummer. I wanted to show you guys the bosses burning here, but we got one more Siege Roller bringing up the pack. This one's got a whole lot of homies in there behind him, so we'll just spray him down. But yeah, super effective. Just shreds. Absolutely shreds. Berserkers aren't making it close. Spiders aren't making it close. None of the bosses, surprisingly, made it even remotely near. Here's a Malthius that we'll be able to check out. Malthius will hang out a little bit down in the back and summon some Skellies, of course. But let's see how fast one of these guys will burn through a 163 million health Malthius in the time it comes out. Now it's going to take Malthius a minute here. Malthius wants to chill, and that's understandable. And here comes Malthius now. The Vipers are going, and look at it. Just crazy. Just super melted, even though it's just one defense. And there was why we kept those reflect beams in. Let this Hex Thrower suicide, smacking himself in the face with his own spear. But that will get it for now. Just a look at the Mystic Snakes. Got to love the snakes. One of the biggest cool values in the game, the Mystic is actually extremely powerful to play as a solo or as your active hero. The crowd control that the Mystic offers is some of the best crowd control in the game, no doubt. So if you enjoy playing the Mystic and you want to take advantage of that Dark Torment, then these snakes are just going to do even better for you. But that will do it for now. Let's take a look at the shinies in the box. We got anything good? Oh, yeah. We got us a Jackalope egg. Very, very nice. But that will do it for this time. Thank you all so much for watching. And I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.